We're going live now. We're going live. We're going live.
Welcome back. Now we move to Ekiti State, and things are heating up nicely as the governorship election approaches in 2014. And, well, as is expected, there will be intrigues here and there. There will be allegations and counter-allegations, and we're beginning to see some of that already. We have 4 people in the studio this morning to look at the happenings in Ekiti State with us, and it's my pleasure to welcome Honorable Oladapo Karun, who is Special Advisor to the Governor on Legislative Affairs and Allied Matters. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers at home.
Sitting next to him is a PDP leader in the state, Amire Kolade. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, viewers at home.
And on this side, where I should have started, because there's a lady on this side, is Mrs. Bumi Dikpo Salami, who is a special advisor on MDGs and development relations. Good morning. And last but not least, Dr. Tope Aluko, who is Secretary of PDP in Ekiti State.
Good morning, viewers.
And thank you all for coming, having come all the way. Let me begin with the opposition. You all have been working very hard, from what we hear, to make sure that you unseat the ACN in Ekiti State. What do you think your chances are?
Yes, you are very correct on that line. We are all working, all hands on deck. We have a very, very great chance of wrestling power from the ruling party.
Wrestling?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a battle, you know. For the election is near, you know, 2014 is very close. It's unfortunate our party is engulfed in so many crises, but we are trying to put that behind us, and we are appealing to our leaders to close rank so that we can present a formidable candidate to get to power again. So we are doing everything possible to make sure we restore our power back from the ruling party.
Dr. Aluko, do you not think that your party is playing into the hands of the other parties with all the wranglings going on at the top? I mean, everybody now views PDP as fragmented and therefore unable to face its most pressing challenges.
Thank you very much. I want to say that PDP is an international party. Let me put it that way. Not just a national party. And the power game is expected. The power game is expected, and we want to thank God that is almost resolved. We had the BOT, we had the National Caucus, and we had the NEC here as at yesterday, and things are improving because it seems that they are streamlining from the top. And coming down to Ekiti State, I want to say that because you said developmental issues in Ekiti, I want to say that we can read the strategy of the ACN very well. And what the ACN are trying to do, some people will say they are working, but I will also say that they are doing selective development. When you look at it, they are looking at where they have their strength, and that is what they are concentrating on. They are almost taking the money of many and using it to nourish few, and because they are looking at election. And what we are saying is development across Ekiti, not looking at election. When you look at the way they are doing it, they are looking at state capital, looking at major local governments, where their votes will come in, and that is where they are concentrating on, with the funds meant for Ekiti, leaving about 80% others outside the major local governments out.
Is this a general observation?
I want to stop. I want them to talk, then I will come again.
Now, Mrs. Dikpo Salami, you are the advisor on MDGs and development relations.
Yeah.
And he has just picked on development relations. he says that what you're doing more or less amounts to window dressing.
Oh, well, I think when the opposition is in denial, we really cannot help it, and people can dream on. For us,
Politics is so
we
sweet.
have a governor who's bent on making poverty history in the land of honor. Ekiti State used to be, before Dr. Fayemi came on board, 1 week, 1 trouble. But now Ekiti is 1 week, 1 innovation. Social security for the elderly, 20,000 of them across party affiliations. 1 laptop per child, 100,000 of them. Youth employment, self-help project in 82 communities across Ekiti State, all the 16 local governments. About 409 kilometers of road. You have about 200 kilometers of pipelines of water. You have rural access to water. You have education. You have the 8-point agenda. You have a government that is founded on ideology. A government who knows what development is all about. You have a governor who's been doing development for decades before becoming governor, not a fire brigade governor, not a governor who just became governor to have it on his CV, a governor who's there to serve. And then you hear people saying he's not doing what is right. When you go to the market, you are only dealing with the people you're dealing with in the market. You don't listen to the noise of the market. That's what I see at the moment. We have Dr. Kaide Fayemi, who's dealing with these people, who's working with these people. For us, development is about growth. It's about progress. It's not about battle. It's not about fighting to finish. It's not about taking Ekiti to ground zero like it used to be. It's all about taking Ekiti to the next level.
So in terms, sorry to interject,
Yes.
Mrs. De Costalani, yes. If you were to gauge or estimate or evaluate what the government of Dr. Fayemi has done in terms of Millennium Development Goal, how far with that in terms of the target? Would you say you're 30%, 60%, 90% there, meeting the MDG?
We are on track. The 8-point agenda of Mr. Governor is premised on the 8 Millennium Development Goals, which means that everything we do in Ekiti is geared towards achieving the goals. That's why we have the integrated approach. So I will say, because you have the 2015 deadline for the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals. If Ekiti wasn't part of Nigeria, because when you add Ekiti's average to Nigeria's average, you will say Nigeria isn't meeting the MDGs. But if we were a standalone country, we would meet the MDGs.
So what will be the percentage?
I would say 80%.
You're 80%?
At the moment, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I interject a little bit?
Yes.
Very quickly.
We need to.
Yeah.
Please, I respect you very much, my honorable.
I think it's a stunt.
I just want to look at the integrity.
Sorry. We are coordinating.
Yeah.
He's got a point, Dr. Aliko. Very quickly,
very
in one
much,
or two
madam.
sentences.
Yes, she mentioned something about integrated development, and I want to say that if you are talking about that, yes, you are doing roads. I can agree with that, but then I can also say at what cost? Yes, you are doing roads, but these are roads in major cities. We must let me finish. We must do roads that will add value to the masses. And when you are talking about this, you are talking about feeder roads that will bring in issues into the rural areas, and you will know that the 100% funds of Ekiti is being spent on 100% and not just the 10%, and you are targeting voters, you are targeting major areas. Then when you are talking about schools, yes, you are doing schools, yes, agreed. But then what about the teachers? There are 3 components in education: teachers, students, and building. The environment, yes, I agree with you. But the student, what is happening to them? What about the teachers? The teachers, you are having conflict with them. The trade association, they are always at loggerhead. Why? Because you are providing good environment for students, but no good environment for the teachers, because they are afraid. Yes,
Okay.
we are doing competence.
Honorable Karon, I'd like your reaction to what he just said, please.
I will take double of the time because he has been recognized twice when I was there.
He's warming up.
The issue
He's
is
warming up.
my colleagues are fearing me. I appreciate one thing, that the two leaders of the PDP agree by consensus from their submission that there are developments going on in Ekiti, but they call it selective. But I want viewers at home to appreciate one thing. You will never know the value of white if you don't have black. We cannot all be here and be talking about what Governor Kayode Fayemi is doing at the moment without refreshing in just 2 minutes of Ekiti State that Dr. Kayode Fayemi inherited. Between 2003 and October 2010, when Dr. Kayode Fayemi came, 7.5 years, it was a period that Ekiti State was always on the news for the wrong reasons. One day, one trouble. It will interest Nigeria that for that 7.5 years, PDP dominated the entire landscape of Ekiti State, to the extent that we make so many history that it will be very difficult for any state to break in this country. One of the history, one of the record. Ekiti State succeeded in producing within that 7.5 years 6 governors in 7.5 years. We have Governor Bayoshi, we have Governor Tokwe Ademluyi, we have Governor Luri, we have Governor Friday Ademi, we have Governor Yemi, we have Governor Seguni. 7.5 years of PDP, 6 governors, 5 deputy governors, several speakers. That was the situation Ekiti was. Terrible. Now, it was a period that you will witness a governor that will take 1.2 billion of Ekiti money on poultry project. As I speak today from Ekiti State, Ekiti are watching us both at home and in diaspora. We can never find a chicken. Of course, that issue with that governor is before the court. It was a period, hundreds of millions of Ekiti State was taken for so-called importation of cows from South Africa, 700 of it. I have the record because I happened to be commissioner for agriculture at the time. As I speak with you, not one single cow. And it was a period we have 2 billion of Ekiti money.
No cow, no chicken.
No cow, no chicken. Look, if I were to be governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi is so human, cosmopolitan, and somebody who believes development has no particular relation. Me, I'm a grassroots politician. If I were to be governor, all the characters, even including the secretary that is sitting here, they could be cooling their legs now in prison because they traumatized Ekiti State for 7.5 years. 2 billion of Ekiti money was given for microcredit. As I speak with you today, the records are there. None of that microcredit money was returned. But the state would demand accountability one day, and all the money will come back is public money. Having said that, Dr. Kayode Fayemi came on board. You know, at that period, it was a period of instability, chaos, and disorder. It was a period that the king will be kidnapped in the palace. It was a period that you can never sleep with your 2 eyes closed. The Afroba will never allow you to be. Joblessness, chaotic situation. But when Kayode Fayemi came October 10, it was then the people knew what good governance was all about. It was then the people know what modernizing agriculture is all about. It was a period they knew what education and human capital development was all about. It was a period they knew what healthcare. They knew what tourism and environmental.
Okay, honorable.
Let me just come in on that.
Sorry, before you do, in just 1 or 2 sentences, Dr. Aliko mentioned the fact that the development that is being referred to under Dr. Fayemi, they are selective, and I just need 1 or 2 sentences. Don't you? Yes.
I agree that my brother has not done sufficient research. And the essence of an opposition party is for you to dig to research so that you have correct statistics with you. There is one policy in Ekiti State. Policy of 5 kilometers of road in every local government. And as I speak, almost 80 kilometers of road under that scheme I come from a local government, and because I have integrity to defend, any F1 that is watching this program will confirm this thing that I'm saying. 5 kilometers of road in F1 had been done, sealed, and delivered. And that was operated in other local government.
All right, that's fine. Yes, let's get your comment.
Thank you for that. Well, personally, when we are talking about developmental effort in Ekiti, we should try to set party affiliation apart. The present government in Ekiti has really tried its best in providing this infrastructural development in Ekiti. For instance, the road from Ado Ekiti to my hometown, Barao Ekiti, where I used to spend about 1.5 hours for a distance of about 30 kilometers. Yeah, I think I spent about 15 minutes or 20 minutes to get there now. And the last time...
There is some good.
There is some good road.
Okay.
This government definitely is providing a good infrastructural development. The last time I got to this way called Gosi Spring, it was marvelous. They tried their best in providing these amenities. Definitely, that's why I said we should set party affiliation apart. Dr. Kayode Fayemi, in terms of infrastructural development, renovation of schools and everything, has really set a standard that anybody aspiring to govern Ekiti must be on his toes. But what we are saying here is that PDP government can do better. When we put all our acrimonies apart, definitely...
you are accepting that there are acrimonies within the PDP?
Yeah, within our party. So we are appealing within to close our ranks so that we can fight the election as a united family. It is not that we are not talking of whether it's performing or not. It's trying best, but we have some element in PDP that can do better. So we should see. I mean, we should differentiate between the two.
Okay.
So he's making an effort, but we can do better.
Yes.
I would like your comment on the declaration made by the chairman of your party that the elections in 2015 would be a war. And that was also with reference to the election in 2014 in Ekiti.
Before I answer that question, I want to quickly go over one or two issues. When I listen to people talking about infrastructural development, I also wonder that why are we running away from the value that we are supposed to get from such infrastructural development. I also wonder why we are not linking in with the synergy that's supposed to come from such infrastructural development. Is confirming what I'm saying. Is confirming that they have taken key local government and developing them, and leaving the other local government about 60-65% out. But I won't want to go into that. I want to come.
Can do everything at the same time.
I want to also
you need to start somewhere.
I also want to address some other issues. Like he has rightly put it, government is a continuum. Whether you are talking about Niyi Adebayo, or you are talking about Ayo Fayoshi, or you are talking about Sheguni, and now Dr. Fayemi, because the issue is there is nobody in Ekiti that will come into governance today. You have a social contract between the governed and the government. If you refuse to perform, he has said it, EFCC is there, people will start making noise. We have people, renowned Nigerians like Chief Afe Babalola, that will talk. So this is not about party. We are saying that they should try as much as possible change the way they are developing Ekiti in a way that the masses will have it, we feel it, the synergy will be there, and they will not be doing it wuru to the answer. They will not be doing it in order to retain power. But let me now come back to the other declaration.
Yes. Your fellow PDP has said that yes, there is some infrastructural improvement. So how is it that you are saying is wuru to the answer?
I am also saying that the infrastructural improvement is talking about is targeted at certain areas. That is what I am saying.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
That is what I'm saying. And when we are looking at issues like this, I know them I know what they are doing. I'm also a consultant. I'm a researcher, lecturer.
He has said
13
that
years. So I know what I am saying. And he is aware that I should
about
know.
the roads, Doctor.
Yes.
That there is a plan to develop, is it 5 in every
5
local
kilometers
government?
Delivered.
But what are they doing?
In not local government.
Sorry.
What
So
they
why
are
are you saying
doing,
that
what
it
they
is
are
not
doing,
local government?
what they are doing is they are also concentrating it on the local government headquarters.
Dr.
They are not
Aliko,
extending
Dr.
it to
Aliko,
where we
Dr.
really need this
Aliko,
road,
sorry,
where we bring the produce,
Dr.
agricultural
Aliko,
produce
can I
from.
interject here?
Yes.
Let's take it one step at a time. Number one, where is your own local government? Is there a 5-kilometer road done in your local government, irrespective of whether it gets into the farm that is close to your family or anywhere else?
As at the last count, I think he's just concentrated in Igedi.
No.
They have not even
local
reached my
government
town.
area.
They have not reached my town.
It doesn't have to reach your town.
Sorry.
They are talking about
Sorry.
the secretariat. They are still servicing the same set of people.
Excuse me. Can you
Well, you
just
had
get,
admitted.
sorry, excuse me,
I
Honorable.
did not.
Honorable, please. Your local government is what again? Irekpodun local government.
Yes.
Irrespective of the size of your local government,
You have 10
in
towns.
that local government, is there any 5-kilometer road that has been done?
Yes.
Yes, so
Concentrated
that means it doesn't
in
matter
Igede,
where.
Living Ibemo, living Inyi, living Awo, living
Aluko,
9 other towns.
Kilometers of road has been done in your local
And at what
And
cost?
his local government.
And at what
I
cost?
also
What
recall
is the
that we
cost?
have
Sorry,
And at
please,
what
please,
cost?
please, for salami.
kilometer of pipeline
Please.
And at what cost?
in his
One-
local government.
Sorry, what is the cost that you are aware of that gives you cause for concern?
Why I'm saying gone to the stock exchange, they've taken bond, and that means they've taken the decision that's supposed to be taken in the next 10-15 years from people that did not vote for them. They are now using the decisions that they are supposed to take then when they become voters in doing what we now see as what they are doing.
Fantastic
That is what
point.
we are saying.
That's fantastic point. Sorry, please, if you're saying that, may I ask you, Dr. Aluko, as a politician,
Yes.
as a member of the PDP,
Yes.
you are in opposition now. What would you have done if you were in Dr. Fayeme's position, if you are a member of it, if you were in ACN and you have the opportunity to rule Ekiti State? Where would you get your fund
I
from?
will not have
No, where
gone to
would you-
spend. I would not have gone to spend the future income of our children, of our yet to be voters. I would have looked for international partners. Dr. Fayemi is an international consultant. Let me put it in quotes, because we both worked at DFID, British government once. So he should know how to go about it. He has contact.
So where would you
I'm
get
talking
the
about
money? Sorry, excuse me, please, Honorable.
low cost funds. But when we are talking about bonds that we are going to pay back in the next 12 years, 15 years, I still cannot fathom why somebody voted in by just a few people. I mean, and you are now saying that the next 16 years, the children that will now come up to voting age, you have now taken the decision out of their hands. So now to manage their resources.
I have a record.
All right,
on
Now
the
to
record.
manage their resources.
Sorry,
The
Dr.
records
Aluko.
must be
that
put
is-
straight.
that
let's
is why
get the facts.
Nigerians are looking at
I
us.
still have the
Yes.
floor.
I said you
No,
you
let's
have
please.
recognized more than on. You have been
Please go ahead with your point, Honorable.
the record must be put straight because we owe it to Nigerians. He had opened another flank that Dr. Kayode went to the capital market to obtain loan, 20 billion. It's a statement of fact. But I forgot the other time. It's not that I forgot because you people are in a hurry to let me place the situation if it was by October 10 when Dr. Kayode Fayemi inherited a debt from this PDP 7 years government of 42 billion. The facts are there. And Dr. Kayode Fayemi never hid this information from Nigerians. Because the first year of his government, we were looking at the records so that we set standard for our takeoff as a government. And out of that 42 billion, 8 billion was taken from the commercial banks at a cutthroat rate. You know, we know what it means to go to call the bank manager of a bank and negotiate certain interest at certain interest and what will come to those people that were ruling. But the issue is anybody who loves his people wouldn't have gone to take short-term loan from a commercial market at a cutthroat rate when you have capital market, where you can take loans at a lesser interest rate, and that will be tied to development. The issue is in Yoruba Palace. There is one adage. One thing Ekiti State under the PDP use their money to buy wind, and that wind cannot, because we cannot see the evidence of that indebtedness. It's sad, but today we went to capital market. The irony of it is that when they were taking this 8 billion from commercial bank, there is what we call ISPO, irrevocable standing payment order, deposited at the federal. Almost 300 or 400 million are deducted from Ekiti mega allocation. Don't forget, Ekiti State ranked the second lowest in the allocation table in Nigeria. Our take home every month is less than 3 billion. And when this, they have mortgaged our future, and certain millions will be taken from a meager resources. So there is no way we could move forward. But the only thing that is left for us is to go to the capital market. During their days, they wouldn't even approach capital market because the constitutionality for go to the capital market, they cannot make it. They have legitimacy because they rob, they steal, vote. The Supreme Court has just confirmed that they are electoral robbers. Two, they don't. Two, they want to steal. Naturally, if you want to go to, if you want to go to capital market, you must, and then you raise the issue of loan, and Nigeria must be educated. Nigeria must be educated. Nigeria must be educated.
Former deputy speaker of Ekiti State House of Assembly to be more diplomatic in the usage of his words. Yes, it's better. We are talking about issues. We are not talking about business.
Why? It's
better coming at this. We are in the presence of Nigerians. Yes, and we should portray Ekiti. As what they call us. I want Honorable Karo to be very diplomatic.
Sorry. I want to believe that Honorable Karonwi is referring to a political party rather than individual.
That's very
Is that correct? Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Can we have Mr. Amire Kolade? Yes, honorable. Okay. Honorable barrister. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I think it's better to let Nigeria know that we should forget about this acrimony. Personally, there is no government in Ekiti. Ekiti have been so blessed. None of those people that govern Ekiti that have not done well, as well as I'm concerned. I'll be part of the process. When Yadebayo was there, he tried his best with the meager resources we are getting from the federal government then. He provided what we can call basic foundation then. Then during the time of IOC, he was in a hurry to develop Ekiti. He opened up so many areas, rural areas in Ekiti.
Including poultry projects.
Well, it's better we forget about this acrimony and find a way of moving forward. Now, come Segoni came with so many beautiful projects. Unfortunately, he did not, because of this political instability, he was unable to have. Well, you can call it like that, but he tried his best. The House of Assembly is there to showcase. The secretarial buildings is there to say they are there. The road to the dual carriage road to Ifaki. It's another major project. Government is a continuum. Government is a continuum.
They are building up on what we have done.
What we are saying, mercenary. Game Kayode Fayemi. I said, Kayode Fayemi is laying a solid foundation. No doubt about that. He's laying a solid foundation now for the development of Ekiti, and that's what concerns people like us. So we are saying that if our party, if not for the crisis in our party,
irreconcilable differences.
We are going to put that behind us. We are trying out all our leaders. We are appealing to our leaders to close their ranks.
We don't have crisis in PDP.
To present a formidable. Don't let us deceive ourselves here. We are not deceiving ourselves here.
You have to the secretariat in the
What I think.
There is crisis in that party until we put our hands together.
That is in place.
Now,
and that is the ESCO that we have, and that is the PDP ESCO. And I am also telling you that it's a continuum. There is no way a governor will come in that will not need to work. But what we are saying is that PDP, as it is said, Dr. Fayemi is building up on what Cheguni laid down. If he's talking about 42 billion loan, he's talking about project, uncompleted project, and project not yet paid for then. And I think they have done that. They are almost finishing one or two of them. But what we are saying is that these are projects initiated by PDP-led government. These are projects, even most of the roads are projects of PDP government. And I'm saying that as a government, they cannot abandon them. And if they are now saying that these are the projects they can showcase to Nigeria, then they are showcasing our own projects.
Well, what I see here is that with the PDP government, you really cannot give what you don't have. When a government does not have the capacity to understand what development really is, and government decides on behalf of the people to initiate projects that do not benefit the people, I'm sure that we all know that that's when we have all the white elephant projects, that many of them that PDP started that had no use to our people. Yes, there were some that they started in good faith or for whatever intentions they had, but they really did not have the capacity to see those projects to even the middle of it. They really did not, they were poorly conceptualized, they were poorly executed, that when the Dr. Fayemi-led administration came on board, all those projects had to be reviewed. All of them had to be looked at. All of them had to be reconceptualized, because he's talking about projects that were conceptualized, that they started, and Dr. Fayemi is finishing. You really need to find out what was the quality, what was the level of progress, and what was the money that's been paid. What percentage, when you have a project that you've paid 80% to a contractor, and that project is still at 10% when the government came on board, and you are so happy to say another government has concluded your project. At what cost to the people? The Ifaki Ekiti road that he's talking about, it was, they had paid about 85% to the contractor, but that contract was still at the level of less than 20%. And when you go to that road now, it's almost finished, it's almost completed. But then you have to find out at what cost to the people. You conceptualize it, they were ill conceptualized, they were ill executed. You have roads that people spent billions of naira on that Dr. Fayemi had to start from scratch, because that was really nothing. You just have asphalt. People were talking about tarred road, we did this kilometer of road, we did that kilometer of road, but then you need to see the picture. What was the picture like before 2010, and what is Ekiti now? There is a new book in Ekiti. It is authored by Dr. Fayemi. It's the book of change, and people need to go and see to be able to see what was it like in the years of the locust and what is Ekiti like right now.
Okay, let's go to Honorable Barrister. Sorry, just a moment.
Yes.
We would like to move, because we don't have all the time in the world.
Sorry,
Honorable Karenwi, just a moment. I just want us to move very quickly so that we can touch
because
on all the issues. But give me 1 second. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. I want to ask Honorable Barrister here. Now, in terms of the politics of Ekiti State, there are some people who have alleged that it is getting very hot and it is getting very violent. From your perspective, you have been quite measured in your comments, but from your perspective, what would you say about what has been alleged to be a spate of violence in the last year or so? At least 1 or 2 or 3 have been reported in the newspapers.
Well, Ekiti, when you talk of violence, Ekiti is one of the states in Nigeria that have recorded low level of violence. We are talking of 2014 election year coming, less than a year. So, and personally, I live in Ekiti. There's no violence that has been. There's no major violence that we can link to political upheaval. Definitely, things are you should be when you are getting to an election year, you should be expecting a level of violence that is will be of unimaginable proportion.
You expect that?
Yes, we expect that. So it's an expected something. But there's no, we have recorded low level of violence in Ekiti. There's no level, politics is now, people are now knowing the advantage of being, of being civilized in their politics.
So do you anticipate that
Yes.
at the end of 2013 there just might be a bit more violence then?
Not really. We are, I don't know. I don't foresee any situation where there will be violence in Ekiti. I'm saying here that as far as PDP is concerned, we are appealing to our leaders to close our rank, to put our house in order. In the PDP, we are still reconciling. In election year is 2014, less than a year, and we are still talking of reconciliation. What are we reconciling? We should put all our hand on deck to present a formidable candidate to challenge the opposition. That is what we are talking here.
So PDP is in a position now, or looking to be in a position where you have a formidable candidate. Are you in that position, or you're looking to put
We are
yourself
not.
in
We are
that?
looking to that position. That's what we are saying. We are appealing to our leaders to close their rank.
Okay.
We are appealing to our leaders to close their rank so that we can move to this election as a united family.
Okay.
So there's no, as far as I'm concerned, there is no level of violence in Ekiti.
Okay.
We are talking of
do you
election
see
here.
the people of
It's election
Ekiti?
a tea party.
Do you see the people of Ekiti voting for a PDP government?
Yes.
Why not?
Yes.
Why not? They have voted for us in the past. If we are able to close our rank, they vote for us. But
Yes.
we are saying
I should be given
Sorry.
chance.
Honorable, please.
They are going
please,
to
please,
vote for
please.
us.
they are going to vote for us if we put our house in order.
Our house is already in order. They are going to vote for us.
Well, we are not here to deceive Nigeria. Our house is not in order. Definitely.
But I think I have a
No, we
point.
will.
Let's
Understand.
I have one for that. The point
Sorry,
because I can't
sorry,
understand why I will
Honorable
sit down
Karawi.
here and I will not be
You
given-
had a chance to speak
No,
and you
because-
spoke
because you have been
eloquently.
giving
So please,
opposition
let's
view
finish
as
one
the way I
point
feel.
at a time.
I want
One
to do
point.
some correction.
That's fine.
My
Thank
people
you.
at home are
Thank
on
you.
that.
Thank you. So you're saying that there is some amount of discord within the political party,
Exactly.
but you're expecting that it will be resolved before the next election.
Hopefully, we are expecting that. We are looking to that.
Okay, so
Well,
Dr. Aluko, you are
As the
saying it is
Secretary of the party, I'm
resolved.
saying that we have resolved it. And in the next 2-3 months, you will see a formidable candidate coming out. A candidate that will be acceptable to everybody. I mean, what's on ground now says PDP has it.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let's come to Honorable Karawi. Your response to that, and then we'll talk about the heated polity within the state.
One, I want to say that when I said Ekiti State were indebted to 42 billion, of course it has been established and confirmed because I was not controverted. And let me say this, because I have been around since 1999 as the former deputy speaker, and up to now I have been participating in and out of government, so I am dealing with records and history here. It is on record that the erstwhile government, immediate government, never commissioned a single project for 3.5 years. I'm talking of the government of Engineer Segun that we entered this administration from. And if under 2.5 years, Governor Kayode Fayemi had done so much, like they have agreed, in fairness to them, like statement, under 2.5 years, only God knows what happened to a 3.5 years government who cannot commission one project. And I want to say this, yes, there is no violence in Ekiti.
But you were here some months
There is
ago
violence.
and we were talking of violence
There
in
is
Ekiti
violence.
State, and
There
there were
is no-
accusations
there is
and
no-
counter-accusations.
I'm talking relatively.
Okay,
Relatively, there is no crime-free society anywhere in the world.
that is true.
But I am talking in relative town in Nigeria today. Ekiti State is still the most peaceful state in the federation, because up north you have violence associated with Boko Haram. Down south you have kidnapping. Down east you have kidnapping of monumental proportion. But here in Ekiti State still remain relatively, pocket of criminality at times. You cannot rule that out.
There's violence
But
in Ekiti.
relatively, there is peace. And let me tell you one thing, I keep on saying this. Ekiti, PDP, the opposition party, they are lazy. Because 1 year down the line, by now we're supposed to see them on the street of Ado Ekiti, telling us alternative viewpoints. giving the people what they want us to do that we have not done, that if they were given opportunity again, that they would do to rescue power from us. But I speak with you, all we see in the entire Ekiti landscape are aspirants, PDP aspirants, who will open shop in the morning, and in the evening you will not meet anybody, only the goats and vows will be sleeping there. And they were using that to deceive their principal, their patrons in Abuja, so that they can collect money they will put in their pocket. The 7.5 years they spent in Ekiti State was a bad advertisement for them. There is nothing they could do. Look, what could they say? So I am urging them, because we need opposition. Democracy will try best when you have a well-researched, varied, critically objective opposition party. But we don't have one in the Ekiti State at the moment. I wish that we just want to see that formidable candidate. Let him come out. Let him establish a different ideology. Let him establish an agenda for program that will better Ekiti State, better than what Dr. Fayemi is saying.
Okay.
But not until we see that.
Honorable.
They are wasting their time.
Honorable.
And if any patron in Abuja patronize them, it's money going down the drain.
Honorable, from what you can see now, is there a possibility of the opposition wresting power from the present party in power?
From my experience as a party person, and from somebody who had been so many things in Ekiti State, I have experience to guide me. Before you can rescue power, you must have a united political party. Yes. If you don't have a united political party, the ruling party will just overrun you.
They say they are now united.
They said they are in progress. They are in process, and I can tell you. Look, I have history. The differences that is between them is highly irreconcilable. You know, we were.
Thank you very much.
Let him respond to that. Let him
Listen
respond.
to Honorable Karumbi, you will think he's in PDP. And he's saying that for my party.
Okay.
What I want to say is that in their own party, I don't want to start mentioning names. We know they also have factions. But we know that they are also trying to resolve it. But what I'm saying is that because they're in government, they've made up their mind that this is the person that will go for second term. But in our own party, we are looking at a credible candidate that will bring out, and when they are talking about wrestling power, I don't understand what they are saying. This democracy, power belongs to the people, and the people will vote us in. So let's go back to those people that we are talking about. Those people we are talking about, the NUT, they are at loggerhead. I mean the teachers, the nurses, the doctors, the local government staffers, the public admin people there. These are the informed voters, and at one point or the other in their own government they have been at loggerhead with these people. So what I'm saying is, it is just a matter of time for the informed people, for the voters, to tell them that we don't need to rescue power. We will take it easily. Take it easily as in, and he's also saying that we are lazy, that we are not doing anything. I want to put it to him that if he's telling us to start telling them the kind of strategy that will help them to move the state forward, as an Ekiti indigene, yes, but as a political man, I will say let's wait until when we have the opportunity to tell them how we are going to do it better before we now come up with our own strategies that we now do it better. But we know government is a continuum.
Okay. Some tweets are coming in, and some of them, I'm not sure whether these people are from Ekiti State or not, but we have someone here who says is Henry Asede, and he says, please ask the Ekiti PDP representative here to tell us about the cow and chicken farms the ACN mentioned. Where are the cows and chicken?
He has said it. We had the project going for us. We had Ikunderi, where we brought in cows, and we wanted to now have a limited liability company that can bring out dairy products.
Did it fail, or it just didn't happen?
They crashed it.
But the ACN government.
Yes, we handed them over to them, and they crashed it. They pieces it, and they started selling it off.
Doctor.
Yes, there were
We
many
met-
issues.
We met how many cows out of how many? I think they
It's
brought about
zero.
700.
I said
we
I
met
should
2 or
pretend
3
as
that were malnourished.
They were selling the cows to Kogi State. There were cases. There were cases in the police headquarters that said that we were not in government.
Very interesting
They were the people in government.
I was
then.
commissioner for Creek. I read the file. 700 cows were to be imported. They left cattle market, Kano cattle market in up north. They went to South Africa, and on paper they were to import 700 cows. They paid for 700 cows. In the final analysis,
Sorry. So they paid for 700 cows coming from
paper.
where?
South
South
Africa.
Africa.
South Africa.
From South
Now,
Africa.
but
yes.
now 100 eventually were
Arrived.
bought, but
Did they arrive?
100 arrived.
100
But
arrived.
I'm telling you one funny story. Now, when they already arrived between Lagos and Ekiti, the truck that was carrying the 100 got broken down. So for 4 or 5 days, nobody attended to the cow. Almost half, about 50 of it,
Died.
without food, without water, died. And the remaining 50 that got to Ekiti were used on bad day, the bad day of governor, the wife of governor.
No, I take serious exception to that because I know that our leaders were very judicious with public resources.
Okay, sir.
We don't need to come here because of party affiliation to be talking what is not on record. What is on record that the PDP government then imported those cows. If anything, if we should ask,
It was Ekiti State government.
it was Ekiti State government
that
so we
imported
be
cows. Because
should
we
be
still
asking
have the
them,
same.
listen.
We still have the same PS Agric. We still have the technocrats still working with Honorable
Stop
Karowi.
him with
He
working
has
with them. So
agreed.
we should ask them.
We should ask them.
The career
We
officer.
should ask them
Yeah,
what
we
they have
should
done
ask
with the cows and how they
what
have
they have done
got
with
the
the cows.
records.
So because
If
it is
the
on record,
if the
cow
former
arrived
commissioner of
Nigeria, he
Agric is
arrived
seated
in
there,
But you
I
paid
am
for
sure he'll be able to
700.
face him.
You paid for 700.
So
And
you
you
should
put
base
it on
what you are
said
saying on fact.
100.
We will not know
Well,
that. Why
this
is
is okay.
is it in the
The important
was in the white paper to us?
Nigerians are putting you on the spot now.
No, it's not Nigerians. It's you.
Okay.
Not us.
All right,
Okay.
we
We
have to wrap
we
up
gotta go now.
Sorry, but just before we wrap up, we have another question. We have series of questions here, but this one is from Omo Naija. This is going to be the last one we will take. He says his Omo Naija is on Twitter, and he says, is there public data on how much Ekiti government is spending on roads? I will start with
Yes.
you, Mrs. Diko
Yes,
Salami.
we
How much
do.
are you spending on roads? That will be your final word.
For us in Ekiti government is very transparent. When you go on the website, on the Ekiti State website, you have the contracts awarded, you find the figures, you find the progress, and all the updates. You know, so we really have nothing to hide. When you look at the various levels of the roads that we have done, of the infrastructure, the water infrastructure, everything that's been done in Ekiti is on our website. And then Ekiti has passed the Freedom of Information Bill. We are the only state that has it. Anybody can walk into any ministry and ask for those records. You can ask for any record in any MDA because we have that law that protects everybody.
Your final words.
Engineer Shegoni
Your
started
final
that.
words.
His Excellency Shegoni started that. So you are just taking a cue from us. But we will.
Government is a continuum, remember?
Yeah. The
Continuum.
government we are running in Nigeria now is very open. It has to be.
Okay.
Remember, we are still at national.
Is that your final word?
Okay,
Yes.
your final words, sir, Honorable.
Yes, like the secretary has said, Engineer Oni started that. If there's one thing Engineer needs to be remembered for, is for his strict compliance to due process. He is very concerned about due process, and I'm happy that Governor Fayomi is continuing that line too. And because anything you do, where in government, is for public to, there be day of reckoning.
Okay.
So Governor Fayemi is building on what Engineer Oni started,
Okay.
but he's setting the
Honorable,
record.
we'll do
He's
it
doing
better.
Last word.
and he's
So,
doing
I
it,
will-
and he's doing it better.
Our
My final
2014 governor will do it
My
better.
final take is to
That is if we put our house in order.
Don't
my
worry,
final take
our
is
house
to
is
put
in
another
order.
record before Nigeria. Ekiti State's journey to democratic rule started in 1999. out of about 8 governors that we have before Dr. Kayode Fayemi, the only governor that completed tenure and left government out through the normal route was our leader, Otumba Adeniyi Adebayo, who completed his 4-year tenure. But since 2003 to 2007, when we have 7 governors, every of these 7 governors never completed tenure.
Because you are not
and look,
satisfied
why are
with
you
the wishes
scared
of
with
the
my
masses.
point?
You are not
They
satisfied with the wishes
never
of the masses.
completed tenure,
They voted us
and
in,
they
but
jump.
you
He
are
said that
always
he
in
said
and
that
out
they
of court.
jumped.
You had your last
Is
word.
you have your last word. He said that they jumped through the fence, or they passed through the back door to
You
escape.
were not satisfied
Okay.
with
We
the
just
wishes of
play
the
Thank you
masses.
one
very
day.
much.
All right,
And
well,
that
Thank
was
you
why
very
we were
much.
always in
On
and
that
out of
note,
court.
Thank you.
We
I'd like
have
to.
more
I'd
of
like
me.
to
God
thank
saved me
you
in
all.
2014.
I'd like to thank
Cut
you
down to
all
2014,
for
you have
coming.
more of me here.
And our thanks go to Honorable. No, this time I will do it right. Our thanks go to Mrs. Bumi Dipo Salame, Special Advisor, MDGs and Development Relations. Dr. Tokwe Aluko, Secretary, PDP, Ekiti State. Honorable Kayode Karunwi, Special Advisor, Legislative Affairs and Allied Matters. And Honorable Amire Kola Kolade, PDP leader in Ekiti State. Thank you all very much for coming, lady and gentlemen. The battle between the ACN and the
You are happy
PDP can continue outside
ladies
our
happy.
studios. Thank you. Sunrise will return with the home stretch in just a moment.